Welcome to the final day of Marriage Week. I'm Andrew Beckwith, and this is my wife Karen, and we both want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day on this February 14th, 2013. So Karen, do you remember our first Valentine's Day?
I have some memories of it. I think that some flowers were involved, and I don't remember if you got many chocolates or not. I
think I did.
Okay.
I certainly know to do that now. We were actually in Russia on an exchange program.
Yeah, we had just really met each other a couple of weeks beforehand, so I had maybe 1 or 2 dates, and then you surprised me with the roses, and that was kind of a little bit the beginning of our relationship.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was our 2-week anniversary, and we're living in this Russian dormitory, and I had to sort of sweet talk the key lady, as she was referred to, who was in charge of all the different dorm rooms, the Russian babushka, in order to get into your room when you weren't there and put some flowers in your room for you.
The roses in Russia were always so big and smelled so good. I've never seen roses like that again.
Yeah, there were a lot of advantages of starting a courtship in Russia, which you wouldn't think of. I think one of our first dates was to the Bolshoi Theater to see an opera. I've been trying to come back up to that standard for the past 13 years.
A movie in the movie theater isn't quite as exciting as that, huh?
Right, although with kids we'd be happy even to get out of the house sometimes. One of the things I think we both really enjoyed in Russia was all the art in the museums and the churches, the icons of all the different saints. And of course, speaking of saints, Valentine himself was a saint. Now the history of Saint Valentine is shrouded in legend, but many historians believe that he was a Christian priest in Rome in about the 3rd century A.D., and he was imprisoned and ultimately beheaded by the emperor. And his crime was marrying Christians, which was against the emperor's law at that time. Now the good news is that around the year that he was martyred, a baby was born named Constantine, who eventually grew up to be the emperor of Rome and who created religious liberty and freedom for Christians throughout the Roman Empire. So in this way, St. Valentine's Day is linked to marriage far more deeply than romantic feelings or little heart-shaped candies. This early church leader was willing to give up his life for married believers and for the institution of marriage itself. So how can we do any less? Now, fortunately, not many of us will be called upon to die for marriage, but indeed we need to be willing to sacrifice ourselves in almost every other way in order to protect the sacred union between a husband and a wife. So this Valentine's Day, I hope that you remember Saint Valentine, the historical priest who sacrificed himself for married believers. And remember that it's more about just flowers and chocolate.
Although that's important too.